Why are y'all so nervous? Relax. It's not of you today, it's of me. Pull out our worksheet that we started yesterday called the Treaty of Tordesillas. This is what we're going to do today. I'm going to read it to you one more time. It never hurts to hear things a second time. All right, we're going to do it a little bit different today. Instead of me reading it straight to you, do you remember a week ago when we did our read aloud where you would comment after somebody read the paragraph? Y'all remember doing that? All right, now here's the thing. We're going to do a version of that today. However, I'm going to be reading it to you. And you need to respond with the person sitting next to you. Just any type of response. Synopsize. All right, give a brief explanation of what I just read. Maybe ask your partner something you're confused about in the reading. All right, and then towards the end, you should have some type of feel for two things: what the Treaty of Tordesillas is saying, and then exactly how comfortable you are with knowing the Treaty of Tordesillas. Does that make sense to everybody? Yeah. All right, so I'm just going to read it to you. Later today, we are going to be doing a Liberator station activity where you're going to be moving around the classroom a little bit. All right? But pull this out if you don't already have it, and let's get started. I'm just going to read it to you. After each paragraph, I will pause for a second, and you will respond with the person sitting next to you. Does that make sense to everybody? Perfect. The Treaty of Tordesillas. The early 1400s brought many improvements in sailing. Please follow along. Thank you. Let's try this again. I'll start over. The Treaty of Tordesillas. The early 1400s brought many improvements in sailing, leading to what is known as the Age of Exploration. Portugal was the first European country to begin searching for an all-water trade route to the east. But it was Columbus's voyages and discovery of gold that started the rush to explore. After Columbus's 1492 voyage, it became clear that the problems over land claims could arise between the two seafaring nations of Spain and Portugal. Since both countries were Roman Catholic, the Pope asked for his help. All right, now take a second. Partner number one, figure out who partner number one is. I want you to kind of synopsize or ask a question of something that may confuse you about the first paragraph. Take about 1 minute. What's that, bud? Does she just need one? Synopsize it to me. What did the first paragraph say?
Everything. Who's the Pope?
Very good. Then what did it say about the Pope at the end? What was he going to do? Very good. Very good. Everybody come together again. Listen up. Coop, how did Jazzy, who spoke over there just a second ago? Coop, how did Jazzy Fresh synopsize the first paragraph?
He said that Columbus went on a voyage to find gold.
Good. Columbus went on a voyage to find gold. Somebody tell me, what happened at the end with the Pope? They're in South America. What is the Pope going to help Spain and Portugal do based off of the reading? Jazzy Fresh, come on.
His Pope Alexander is going to
help them split the land, right? And why are they going to the Pope in order for him to split the land? Why are they not going to somebody else? Why are they going to the Pope, Jazzy Fresh? Right, both of them are what type of religion, Paris? They're both Roman Catholic, and the Pope is kind of the leader of the Roman Catholic Church. So they're going to the Pope to help them figure out this dispute, all right? Now, whoever just talked after this second paragraph, the other person's going to talk. Does that make sense? You follow along now? All right, here we go. In 1493, Pope Alexander VI established a north-south line in the mid-Atlantic, giving Spain any unclaimed land west of the line, and Portugal any unclaimed land to the east. As exploration continued, though, it soon became clear that Spain had available a much greater share of the land, and Portugal demanded a new agreement. All right, partner number 2. Synopsize to your partner number 1, paragraph number 2. Really quickly, about 30 seconds. This one's not too long. Ready to go. Tell me what that says. To divide the land, right? Very good. And then what happened with the amount of land? Very nice. Nicely done. 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. Luke and Reagan, who just talked? All right, perfect. Luke, what did Reagan say was kind of the synopsis of paragraph number 2?
Reagan said that it was basically that they made the new agreement and Portugal never they got a lot less land than Spain.
Very good. So they divided up the land with the north-south line, and basically what Reagan said is that Portugal was mad because they didn't get as much land as Spain, right? Perfect. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Nicely done. Nicely done. Nicely done. Chris, will you do me a favor? Go back there and make sure all that stuff is not blocking my view. Click exit out of that one. Cancel. That's fine too.
Oh.
I think it's still recording. And then exit out of the big window. And this is okay if it's on the video, because I think she'll understand if we have a little mess up with the computer, right? We can control. Perfect. Thank you, Chris. Go on to paragraph number 3. Follow along again as I read this aloud. Thank you, Chris. A meeting was then held in the town of Tordesillas, Spain. I wonder where they got the name of the Treaty of Tordesillas. Spain, where a new line was drawn, 370 leagues west of the Cape Verde Islands. Spain and Portugal agreed to an agreement. I skipped a line, I'm sorry. Spain and Portugal agreed to a treaty on June 7, 1494, and Pope Julius II later approved the treaty in 1506. In this agreement, Portugal was given Brazil. Pedro Cabral explored the land and the Amazon River. Over the next several hundred years, the border of Brazil moved westward. Since, despite the adjustment in the treaty, Spain had been given far more land than Portugal. For this reason, Spain did not resist the expansion of Brazil. All right, partner number 1, it is your turn to synopsize the 3rd paragraph. Partner number 1, ready, go.
I'm back.
All that land.
Fine with the expansion, right? Yeah. Perfect. 20 seconds.
And
10 seconds. Nice. Let's see. Flora and Larissa, who just synopsized? Who's partner number 1? You spoke? All right, Larissa. Explain to us how Flora kind of paraphrased paragraph number 3, really quick.
Okay, so she said
There
there was a meeting.
was what?
A meeting in Spain.
Nice.
And that's where the new line was made.
Right?
And and then Pope Julius approved it in 1506.
Very good. And then what happened with Portugal expanding? Why wasn't Spain mad about it?
Oh, because Portugal, they had a smaller land.
Right, so if Portugal expands just a little bit into their territory, they're okay with it, right? Perfect. Is that what Flora said? Is that what you said? Nicely done. All right. One last paragraph, and then we're going to go over these answers down the bottom one more time just to make sure we comprehend. Last paragraph, partner 2, be ready. This is the shortest paragraph of them all. Today, with the exception of Brazil, Haiti, Jamaica, and a few other small countries, most of Latin America has Spanish as the official language. Had it not been for the Treaty of Tordesillas, this may not have been the case. Partner number 2, you got the easy one. Take 10 seconds, and synopsize these 2 or 3 sentences. You ready? This is easy. Go.
Without the Treaty of Tordesillas, Spanish would not be the official language of all the countries.
They speak what language? Brazil? And then all the others speak what? Nice. Caitlin and Miss Schmidt. Who is partner number 2? Who just synopsized? So Schmidt, what did Caitlin say to synopsize it?
Said that a few countries that included.
Don't worry about what they included. What's the main country we're talking about? What's Brazil? Very good.
And she said that because of the Treaty of Tordesillas and the land that was split apart, the most common language was Spanish.
Very good. And then what do we know already from our previous knowledge? What does Brazil speak? Portuguese. Very nicely done. All right. Thank you, class, for doing that. Let's look at the bottom and let's just go over these again. I know we kind of already went over these yesterday, but let's talk about it again. According to the passage, the Treaty of Tordesillas was written by who? There we go. That'll work. Pope Alexander VI. Very good. We're actually not going to do number 3. We're just going to stop at number 2. Yesterday in 5th period, we found a little problem with question number 3. But let's do number 2. What conclusion can be drawn based on information in the passage or the map? Somebody raise your hand and tell me this one. What did we say? Evo.
Pope was respected in Spain.
Very good. All right, how do we know the Pope was respected in Spain and Portugal? Kim? They're both Roman Catholic, right? Also, they both agreed to let the Pope make this decision, right? That's how we know it. Chris, will you check that and get rid of that? Thank you. Now, perfect. This is actually page number 16 in your table of contents. However, we need to pull back out page number 9, our vocabulary sheet, because there are 2 words on here that we can now fill out, or yes, there's 2 extra ones we can now fill out. All right, our vocabulary sheet, page 9. Page number 9. Thank you, Chris. I like the way Kim's already found the one that we're supposed to be defining. All right. The last one we did together was the Incan Empire. All right. There are 2. If you skip Machu Picchu, there are 2 that you should be able to come up with a vocabulary definition for. If you do it by numbers, it's number 10, the man by the name of Mr. Pizarro, Francisco Pizarro. All right, and then the one right under Pizarro is the Treaty of Tordesillas. All right, I kind of synopsized the Treaty of Tordesillas. What did the line do and all that good stuff. All right, see if you can come up with the best definition possible. To help you, what could you base your definition of Pizarro off of? Who could you base your definition? What other definition have we already come up with that is very similar to what you're going to say about Pizarro? Jeremy? Very good. All right, so if you copy kind of the way we made Cortez's definition, Pizarro's is going to be very similar, except he took over a different tribe, right? Take about 2 minutes. What's up, bud?
Do you have a pencil I can borrow?
I do. I have plenty of pencils today. I will tell you the best place to find pencils in a school, if you just need an extra, students drop pencils in the hallway all the time.
Yeah.
It's like a free school store in the hallway.
That's
Always check the hallway. I'm not joking. The best place to find them is on the floor in the hallway. What's up, bud? There you go. See? See, look. There's 2 right there. I could start a pencil store with all the pencils I find in the hallway. I'll go quiet now. I'm sorry. 1 more minute. What's up, darling? Let's get the limp in. What's up? What are you doing? Who thinks they have a great definition for either Francisco Pizarro or the Treaty of Tordesillas? Go write Treaty of Tordesillas on the board. Flora, you think you got one for Pizarro?
Yeah.
Here you go. Right on the board. See if y'all agree with these. Dot, dot, dot. Patricia, move over like kind of towards my refrigerator. You got longer arms. You can probably reach over. Let me move the chair for you so you got a little bit of room. Perfect. Right there. See if y'all agree with these. Francisco Pizarro, Treaty of Tordesillas. Say Tordesillas. Tordesillas. Say Tordesillas. It's not Tordesillas.
Tortillas.
It's not tortillas. Say Tordesillas. All right, so keep writing, Patricia. Let's look at Flora's definition of Pizarro. She says, the person responsible, the person who conquered the Incan Empire. Do y'all agree with that? Thumbs up. Do you not agree with that? Thumbs down. I agree with that wholeheartedly. Flora, that is 100% perfect. Nicely done. Francisco Pizarro, the person responsible for conquering the Incan Empire. Now let's look at Patricia's definition for the Treaty of Tordesillas. As she said, a treaty that made a line. Can we erase the word drawn? Can we just erase the word drawn? Would that be okay, Patricia? A treaty that made the line for both Roman Catholic countries of Spain and Portugal that gave them both land of South America. Do you follow that? Let's change a word around. I'll help you out, Patricia. That's okay. That gave the land. How about in South America? Does that make sense? So she said, made a line for both Roman Catholic countries of Spain and France that gave them both land in South America. I think that is 100% correct. Would everybody agree with that? Thumbs up, thumbs down. Perfect. Now what I want you to do is add something. All right? To the west of the line. Who got that land?
Spain.
Say it louder.
Spain.
Very good, very good. And east of the line, I want you to add that too, is the opposite. Who got east of the line?
Portugal.
I like it. Patricia, Flora, outstanding job. Y'all are getting way better at coming up with these definitions without any help. I like it. Now, if you do not have these definitions on your vocabulary sheet, make sure yours match the ones that Miss Patricia and Miss Flora have written for you. Questions? Yes, ladies. Go ahead, Caitlin.
Okay, so would this be just for the easy stuff?
Go for it.
The Spanish explorer who took over the Incas?
This is beautiful. Spanish explorer that took over the Incas. Very nice. Kim, go for it.
Did I ever do much?
We did not do Machu Picchu yet. We're actually going to skip Machu Picchu with a little bit of the snow days. We were going to have like a little mini lesson on what Machu Picchu is. But since we missed a few days with the snow days,
Yeah.
that were not really snow. If we have time, though, we will come back and talk about Machu Picchu. All right. I apologize for that. We do have kind of a cool little mini lesson on it. However, Mother Nature won. She beat us. So we can't really do anything about it. What's up, Luke? Huh? You want a quick rundown? Machu Picchu is a city that sits on top of a mountain. Rundown. I would highly advise, though, if you're interested in Machu Picchu, take this vocabulary sheet home, Google it, and it is one of the coolest cities that you will ever see. It literally is a small town sitting on top of a mountain. They found it in I think the 60s, but it was made sometime in the 15 or 1600s. So they disappeared for about 300 years and nobody knew this city was up there. And then all of a sudden they found it and it's this big old city on top of a mountain. What's up?
So, like, did one of the tribes make it?
Did one of the what about?
Like, one of the tribes in South America made it?
The Incan Empire made it.
Uh,
Yeah, we talked about the Incas. We just didn't talk about the specific of the city. What's up, Jazzy Fresh?
So when they found Machu Picchu, did they ever like renovate it up, or did they just keep it?
They did not. They did not renovate it. It's still the way they found it. Right. What they were scared of is if they started building on this really ancient city, that most of the buildings would fall, and they didn't want that to happen. So they kind of kept it as it is. It's still there. The roofs are kind of off of the buildings now just because of the weather, but it's kind of cool. What's up?
I didn't know it was started in place.
Because it's where the Incan Empire was located. Remember they were in the not the Aztec Mountains, the Andes Mountains?
Oh, yeah.
It was all up in the Andes Mountains. That's
Like,
one.
roads up and down.
There's a hike you can take to get up there. Yeah, it takes like 2 or 3 days to get up to it, but it's kind of cool. Yeah. All right, now we got to move on. Does anybody not completely understand the Treaty of Tordesillas? I feel like this is a very easy concept. However, if there's still a little bit of confusion about it, raise those up because I can. Well, question?
Yeah.
What's up, darling?
So the Treaty of Tordesillas, they just like was it just all about dividing more land, or?
The Treaty of Tordesillas, in essence, was just dividing South America. Right? They made that line, everything west went to Spain, everything east went to Portugal. And when I say it is that simple, I really mean, it's not like the Treaty of Versailles where we went in depth and there was all these little caveats about Germany. No, this treaty, there's a line, everything west is Spain, everything east is Portugal. Boom, there's the Treaty of Tordesillas. When I say it's that simple, I really mean that's it. Don't let it confuse you, that's all. All right. Any other questions? That's a great question. All right, put everything up. We're going to start a little station activity today. And let me set this up by saying a few things. There are bugs on here. La da ti da ta. La da da ti ti. Whose stuff is this?
That's my stuff.
Move it, please.
Oh.
There are going to be 2 sets of stations. station, there's going to be 2 or 3 people per. Alright, so let's do this. Let's break people up. Paris and Kim, come join Patricia. Jazzy Fresh and Coop, y'all stay together, but come join Luke right here. That way we have 3, 3, 3, 4, and 4. Perfect. Is that okay, Luke? Hey, congratulations. You're with 2 ladies. You're welcome. When you get into high school, you'll love it. I'm going to pass this out. There are going to be 3 names on the table that I passed to you. All right. We are only going to be looking at the front page of this little tiny packet that I'm giving you. There's only 2 pages, so it's not really a packet. It's more like a pairing of papers. All right. We are only going to be looking at the front side so far. As I pass them out, start looking at the names and start looking at the things on the left-hand side of the column that you will be looking for while you do these stations. All right? Question, yes, Luke? We need one more? Y'all probably need one more too. My other group before we hit that too. Yeah. Sorry. Apologies. All right. If you look down the left-hand side, it has a few words that may hint to you what exactly we are looking at today. What is the first question on the left-hand column ask you to find? What does it say, Chris? So, we're talking about, the question asked is, what did he liberate? So, if they are liberating something, what could we conclude that these 3 names are? Go ahead, Flora. Not conquistadors. What's that other word that we...
Conquistador.
You need help.
Is this broken?
No.
Have you farted?
Most likely, yes.
I'll give it to Paris.
There you go. Madison, what can we conclude that these 3 are? Liberators. Very nicely done. What is?
Liberators. They're liberating.
That girl is so fine.
Okay, bye.
That she blows her nose.
Want it?
You know what? She's a little snap.
I like her. I like the attitude. It makes me laugh. Very nice with a little does you know we're recording. These are liberators. And as we talked before, can anybody remind us what a liberator does? Or to liberate means? Remember we talked about this with World War II. Make the connection. They liberated the concentration camp. So what does it mean to liberate something? Have I talked to you at all today? Paris. It means to free somebody. All right, very good. Now, after the Spanish came over and they conquered the Aztecs and the Incas, we know from our studies that the Spanish were not very nice to the native people who were still there. All right, remember talking about how mean they were? They would kill a lot of them, but what do you think they did with some of the other ones? Made them, say it louder?
Slaves.
Made them slaves. Were you like trying to hide your answer? Don't hide your answer. All right. So we are going to learn about some of the people who freed some of the enslaved people in Latin American countries. All right. Do realize this comes after the conquistadors. All right. First, you have to have conquistadors taking over the tribes. Right. You follow that so far? And then they start being mean to the natives. And these liberators are the people who are going in to kind of save the native people from the meanness of the Spanish. Does that make sense? All right. So you're going to learn all about their stories. This is how it's going to work. These front 3 groups are going to be one set of stations. All right. And then these back 3 groups are going to rotate between these back 3 tables. Does that make sense? All right. So y'all 2 will probably have the same reading. These 2 groups probably have the same reading. And these 2 groups will probably have the same reading. Does that make sense? All right. I do not know how long it will take you to take these readings, to look at them, and then to get the answers down on each of the columns in your table. So the first station, we're going to kind of use it. Take your time. All right. I'm going to use my clock or my watch, which I'm not even wearing. I'll maybe use my cell phone and time out the first station to see what everybody's done, and then we'll use that amount of time for the last 2 stations. Does that make sense? All right, here we go. Do y'all know what you're doing?
Yeah.
Do you know what you're doing?
Yeah.
Connor, explain to me what you're doing.
You're reading and finding out the answers on the paper.
For the, what do we call these people? For the Liberator. Very nicely done. All right. These first 2 groups, you got Toussaint Louverture. Everybody say Toussaint. Everybody say Louverture. It's very French sounding, is it not? These next 2 people, these next 2 groups, it looks like Simon Bolivar. That is extremely American sounding, all right? You say Simon, say it.
Simon
Bolivar.
Bolivar.
You have to make these sound very Latin. And then the last one, very simple one, we call him Father Miguel Hidalgo. Now, question for you, why would we call him Father?
He's a priest.
He's a priest. Very nicely done. All right. I'm going to time it out based on how long it takes you to read these readings in the first station, and then I will give you the time for the last 2 stations. Are there any questions before I turn you loose? Take your time, read it as a group, answer these questions on the table on your marks. Get set. Action.
For early life, I was born in.
Yes, I'm a nurse.
Take 10 things.
My dear grandfather.
I would recommend that you read down the left column first. That way when you're reading, you know what you're looking for. Does that make sense?
Yep. My
You can read it any way you want to. All right? If you want to read it as a group, that's fine. If you want to take turns reading, that's fine.
And then we can do both parents' lives. Actually, I don't know. Born in a hospital.
He is not, amen. He would be around 300 years old if he was. This is for your reading for the other day. RJ, you focusing? Oh, I didn't even see it. Sorry. You can understand that though, okay? You're leaning over the accent. No worries though, if that's more comfortable, it's so neat.
Hendrix, is this
This is asking, so he's going in to fight for freedom. Who is he fighting against? I would say Latin America. Be more specific. What countries in Latin America? Hey, be as specific as you can, especially in the first row. What he liberated should be a country, not Latin America. Latin America is very broad right there. Yes, ma'am. Okay. Did you read it? The whole thing? Give me 1 second. Let me organize this first. I'm listening. Right there? Like I can see where you're reading?
Well, if it starts to rain,
I'm listening.
I'm later
Say that one more time.
Less people than football. So my mom has like 55. That's how I didn't even get the ball.
You look tired.
That's not.
I usually get the ball like once a week.
It was then that
I let Army stand on
I only get the ball like once a week.
she's talking to like
What
no,
do?
it's third person, second person.
It's either a pretty good game or much.
It was then I took
He only passes it like.
Boom. Alright, now listen. What country do you know sounds very similar to Bolivia? Bolivia, do you think it was named after him? I do too.
Because they chuck.
Probably because he freed them, so it looks Bolivia too. Give me 1 second.
If you do catch it, it's just because they threw like right over your head.
Alright, so this second one. He did. Alright, that's perfect. Katie should go up is what he was doing. This is who he's fighting against two people. So like who was he if he was going against France. Very good. And then put Haiti as one of the very good, very nice, very nice. Hey, Alright. We gotta make sure everybody else catches up, okay? Y'all are just too quick. Yes, Connor?
Does Europe, did he free it from Europe?
Yes, if there are any specific European countries that said he fought against. You gotta think, all these countries that he freed, Panama, Venezuela, Colombia, Ecuador, he was in control of them. Just learn about the
That is
Very good. Absolutely. So who was he fighting against? Very nice. That makes sense? See how we did that? Very nice, boys.
He goes.
See? I don't care what this passage says about you, for you are smart. It looks like everybody needs about another minute or two. Is that about right? That'll put us right at 8 minutes per station. Sounds about right. Close. Take another 2 or 3 minutes. Do not rush though. If you need more time, I'll give it to you. I think it's very funny that when I allow you to talk, you don't talk. But when I don't want you to talk, good. You talk about Toussaint Louverture. Kaylee, can you come up with a way to remember what country he was going against? What does his name sound like?
What country? Spain.
What does Toussaint sound like? What type of food? Croissants are from what country? And who was he fighting against? Crazy.
That is so good.
Y'all keep working down here. I'm sorry to talk to everybody. I got this. What's the bottom one?
I'm gonna sell it for like 50,000.
The main one is who was fighting against. Remember, he didn't have a whole army, but he was going up against the whole country. Yeah, about another minute. Y'all are working diligently today. I like it. What's happening to y'all's water?
Not successful.
$30 seconds. Y'all are working hard. Thank you. Oh, I love my first period. If you finish up before everybody else, take your readings and put them in the folder that I have placed on your desk. Alright? If you finish early, take your readings and slide them in the folder that's on your desk now. About 20 more seconds. I see people about to finish up. I see people about to finish up. We are, yeah. Hold on 1 second. Y'all sit for a second. Let me explain how y'all get here. I'd rather get y'all up in a minute.
Go to Market and buy a
It's more fun for me. Alright, freeze. This is the way we're rotating. Are you ready? Are you watching?
Yep.
These two groups way down here are going to be the one who moves the furthest. Y'all are going to go way down to the other end. My middle two groups are going to come here, and then my side two groups are going to come to the middle. All right, take about 10 seconds to get there. Once you get there, figure out who you're reading about and start filling in your table. Again, I don't care how you read it with your group as long as you read it through. Go, Caitlin. Go, girl. Oh, time out. Okay, so that took y'all about 10 minutes. All right, so I'll give you about 10 minutes. Now, here's the thing. If you need 11, I'll give it to you, but try to get done in 10 minutes, okay?
Okay.
Ready, go.
We are reading about Father. I can read this. Father.
Although he was a Creole from a wealthy family,
Ma'am, let me come to you.
he needs recommendations to become a priest and to serve the Lord. As a parish priest in the town of Dolores, he worked
I would just
very
say
hard.
country.
He spent much time caring for people and was especially
It
concerned
was named
about the natives who have been treated so badly by the British.
Bolivia, but also he
For
freed
them,
both
he
of our
had a
freed about
center
6
built
different
where
countries.
there
They're
was
in here
a
somewhere, so make sure you
poetry
read it. He was kind of not just Bolivia. He freed about.
Yes.
I
I'm
say
gonna
5
guess.
or 6. Don't just find it. Read through the whole thing.
another table, workshop, a blacksmith table, and a cutting machine, and a weaving floor. He also spent.
No, I wish we put them
He
all.
also sent.
He was a big time freer. Yes, ma'am.
Beginning industry and industry doors, and in his years as a police father, Hill's death, he became friends with a group of
So that'd be an autobiography or a
Creoles born in
biography?
Mexico to be independent. He began to work with his friends toward this goal. In 1810, the group made plans for a revolution in the
There we go.
plans were discovered. Their plans were discovered.
5 or 6. I'm not sure of the total.
So Spain,
He did a lot though.
Mexico.
He was kind of a big time liberator.
Discovered by him.
Taylor, you can read.
Plans were discovered. Okay. On September 16th, 1810, his father, Hildegard, spoke to the people of his parents in order to act at once to claim their
I'm going to give you about 6 minutes so you have time to pack up before you go. 6 minutes. What year you are? Good conversation.
We're almost done.
Kind of sit and relax for a second here. He's probably the easy one, right? Yes, ma'am. Who they were fighting against. Now let's think. Anyways, we just learned in the Treaty of Tordesillas that all lands west of the line went to who? And all things east of the line went to who? Now, what country was east of the line? Brazil. Alright? So that tells you all these countries were ruled by what country? So who do you think Bolivar was fighting? See, I did that right there? Boom. That's a good point. I don't want people putting Europe. Nice. Alright, this is what I was kind of worried. Let's talk about this for a second. Did y'all do that too? I know y'all got that. Oh, I helped y'all. Let's talk about Mr. Bolivar really quickly because they didn't see it. It's not just you. So they were fighting against, yes, it was European, but let's think. In the Treaty of Tordesillas, there was a line drawn. Remember the line? Sorry, I keep pushing you. The line drawn, right? Every land west of the line went to who? And everything east went to who? Now, based off our previous knowledge, what do we know? What country was east of the line? Portugal was, but what country in Latin America? Brazil was. All right. Now, all of these countries were west of the line. So who do you think they were fighting against when he was trying to free those countries? Say it. Spain, because remember those countries are west of the line. Does that make sense? All right. So they were fighting against Spain. Europe is very broad. That includes like countries like Ukraine, Italy, and all that. They didn't have much to do with it. Be as specific as possible. Right, and that also gives you a hint because Europe is not a country. Very nice, Patricia. Very nice. Nice, Eva. About 2 minutes. If you need a little bit more time tomorrow, that is okay, but I want to stop you early. 2 minutes. Actually, looks like y'all are going to get finished very nice.
Do you know that the Football Hall of Fame
not Mexico City, but just Mexico. Boom. Finish it in Mexico. Mexico City is way too specific. You read all of the countries. Very nice, Reagan.
Where
However,
You're fighting against it.
So it's Joe Montana. They have to be able to do the test. Why always
why don't y'all cross the names about it? 1 more minute.
What did you say?
Huh?
Simone.
Simone Bolivar. Y'all know Mr. Martin, the AP? He's the 8th grade assistant principal. Do y'all know who Mr. Martin is? The 8th grade assistant? So when you get to Simone Bolivar, he freed Bolivia. Mr. Martin lived in Bolivia, and actually his wife is Bolivian, and they lived there for about 3 years. If you ever have any questions about Bolivia, go ask him. He knows all about it. He taught in Bolivia for 3 years. He was a teacher. It's kind of cool, I guess.
He was born as a slave.
Y'all know Mac Jack?
Yes.
Mac Jack went to Peru and Colombia this summer, and Mr. Gelbaum went to Chile? He's the guy who comes in here for second period. Mr. G-Bomb. Alright, everybody freeze just a second. Now, before we do anything, take the readings that are at that station, put them in the folder. Here's the thing. If you are not finished with this station, rub your earlobes, relax a little bit, because tomorrow I may give you like 2 or 3 more minutes just to make sure you got the second station. What I do want you to know, remember who you did last, alright? So this group right here, all 6 of y'all did Bolivar. Remember that you were on Bolivar. So over here y'all did Hidalgo. Make sure you remember that you're with Hidalgo, and make sure y'all remember that you're with Louverture. Now pay attention. What you're going to be doing tomorrow, you are going to be finishing this table first thing as you walk into this classroom. We will kind of do the same thing where I will let you go. But towards the end of the day tomorrow, you are going to have to come up with the Liberator of the Year. Alright, so you're going to be giving awards to one of these 3 liberators, and what I want you to start thinking about is who was the best at it, who was the most noble, and all those good thoughts you can come up with of these liberators. Question, yes ma'am? This will be page number 17. I'll add it right now if you would like to add it before you leave. Yes ma'am?
Okay, so are we doing the award?
We're going to do it tomorrow, but I want you to start thinking about it tonight, even today if you get a chance. Liberator table. Alright, now move back to where you started today. Go get your stuff. Chris, will you stay on your Make sure you file this away before you leave.